Hi guys, my name is Abhishek Mangoli and I make videos on various topics of machine learning, artificial intelligence, optimization, algorithms and much more. In today's video we will see what phonetics is, what is phonology, what are some phonetics algorithms like SoundX, and we'll see a very cool application of it. You can use this application in your project, you can enhance it or you can derive inspiration from it to develop similar projects. So let's get started. In today's video, I will take you through one of the blog that is authored by me and titled as Guess the Gibberish If You Can. Uh, so, before going to the problem, I want to set the context. Social media is the most powerful platform of current times. It's used for digital marketing, expressing opinions. We interact with friends over there, and as well as it's the primary source of entertainment, right? And to keep the users engaged, these social media apps keeps on innovating and coming up with new features to keep the users engaged. And also in the recent times, we have seen new challenges trending in these social media apps. If you see some of the challenges, those are like the ice bucket challenge, until tomorrow challenge, the 10-year challenge, and also recently we have seen the Dracula coffee getting famous. And so this blog is inspired from one of such challenges, which is guess the gibberish challenge. What happens in this challenge is that some gibberish text appears in the screen, which seems completely nonsense, but sounds similar to something meaningful, which we have to crack or decode. If I show you some example, it may be something like in the screen you may get United Kingdom, and you will given a 10 seconds timer in which you have to decode it, and the correct decoding will be the United Kingdom. Similarly, other one could be Miss swimsuit, and the correct decoding is my swimsuit. Even I took this challenge, and what I got was Raksas Ebb Zolodynamics, and the correct decoding was laws of thermodynamics. So since I'm an algorithmic enthusiast, first thing that came to my mind was how can I create one such challenge myself? How can I write an algorithm which can generate many such gibberish text which actually maps to something meaningful. Being honest, I had no idea how to develop such an algorithm, and intuitively what came to my mind was I could use some phonetic algorithm like SoundX. Before, I had never used any phonetic algorithm, and the main reason why it came to my mind was I knew or I had heard that algorithm like SoundX uh, can differentiate between similar sounding words. And here, if you see, the gibberish appears random nonsense, but actually sounds similar to something meaningful. So I started my research around this topic of phonetic algorithms. As per Wikipedia, phonetics is the science of the sounds of the human voice, and subject matter experts of this field are called phoneticians. The linguistic-based study of phonetics is called phonology. Now we are familiar with what phonetics is. It's the sound of human voice. The study of it is phonology, and one who is expert in it is called phonetician. What is a phonetic algorithm? An algorithm which can index the words by their pronunciation are phonetic algorithms. These algorithms are capable to identify words with similar pronunciation. For example, Smith, SMITH and SMYTH. They may have different spellings, but they sound similar. So such kind of algorithms will be able to classify between these similar sounding words, even though they have slightly different spellings. And one such algorithm is SoundX. And why we are looking at phonetics algorithm? Because they can differentiate words on the basis of their sounds. And we know that in our case, we want to generate some text which may be meaningless, which may be random, which may be gibberish, but it should sound similar to something meaningful. Next is the SoundX algorithm. SoundX is a phonetic algorithm for indexing names by sound. The goal is that homophones are encoded similarly. What is homophones? Homophones are the words with similar pronunciation. We want the words with similar pronunciation to be encoded in the same way. Yes, SoundX provides an encoding of the word to some format, and what that format is we will see. Uh, the traditional Soundex algorithm provides a 4-bit encoding, that is, no matter how big word you give, it will provide a 4-bit encoding to you. But it's not limited to 4. We can increase it to K, where given a word, it will provide K-bit embeddings. And if K-bits are not there, it will just append zeros at the end to make it K-bit. And if the word is very long and it is not able to fit into K bits, then it will just truncate the remaining bits and give you the first K bits. That is how it works. And the algorithm, I have taken it from Wikipedia and bit simplified it. What it does, it generates an encoding of the word where first letter is an alphabet and remaining all are digits. Retain the first letter of the word. Given a word, the first letter of the word will remain as it is, and then we will drop all the occurrences of A, E, I, O, U, Y, H, and W. And some of the consonants are numbered together. That is, it creates a cluster of consonants. These consonants will belong to cluster 1, these consonants will belong to cluster 2, these consonants will belong to cluster 3, and so on. Now let us understand why is that, why it does this clustering or numbering of consonants. The answer is this: the consonants for which the pronunciation comes from the same place of articulation, that is same portion of the mouth, are grouped together, are clustered together. For example, B, F, P, and V, B, F, P, V, all these comes together. That's why they are clustered as one. Similarly, if you see the third one, D, T, they come together. In this way, the phoneticians have clustered these consonants together. Till now, we have seen the algorithm has retained the first letter of the word, drop occurrences of these consonants and vowels, and remaining consonants are grouped together according to the rule that phoneticians have created, seeing the place of articulation of these consonants. Step 3 is, if two or more letters with the same numbers are adjacent in the original word, only retain the first letter. For example, if I get P, 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 then I will just take the first P. Also, two letters with the same number separated by H or W are coded as single number. Here we are talking about letters and numbers. So what does it mean? B, suppose my word is B, H, P. In that case, what will happen is that I have B and P coming from the same cluster, and H is anyways the consonant which is ignored. Now in that case, I will just keep one occurrence of B or P. I won't keep both of them. Are coded as single number. While in the other case, if the letters separated by a vowel are coded twice, that is, if it was B, E, P, then it would have come the 1, which is, we can see through the fuzzy library provided by Python. It's really cool and very good implementation of Soundex. So we'll understand this with the fuzzy library. Import fuzzy. Fuzzy dot Soundex. We can tell it that how long big encoding we want. We will go with 4-bit encoding, and then we'll see the first one. What you're seeing is that first of all, the first point says that first letter will be retained as it is. So we will always get the first letter as it is, right? In the next case, it says if I have letters with the same the second and third alphabets are of the same character, which means they are from the same bucket. In that case, it will take it only as one. It will take it only one time. And in next case, if it is separated by H, then also it will take it as one. And if it is F, then also it will take it as one only, because P and F both belong to the cluster 1. Okay, and the step force is that in the final encoding, if the final encoding is less than k bits, fill the remaining with zeros, and if there are more than k bits, retain only the first k. Yeah. Now using this algorithm, Robert and Rupert return the same string R163. The reason being R will be R, uh, B, O and U will be ignored because they belong, A, O and U are vowels, so they will be ignored. And B and P, they belong to the first cluster, that's why 1. And E will be ignored because it's a vowel, and R belongs to the cluster 6, and T belongs to cluster 3. We can also see that Soundex Robert. You will get R163. Similarly, Scraft and Scraft will yield A261. Time Z yields T522, not T520. Reason being, Z, Z and K, they belong to the same cluster, but they are separated by a vowel. That's why they will have. That's why 2 will come twice. If it was H or W, it would have come only once. Then only T52 would have come. But since it's separated by vowel, it will just come. The 2 will be repeated. So these are some of the rules of Soundex, which are simple and straightforward. That the, f, they belong to the same cluster because they come from the same place of articulation. Similarly, D and T and few others as well, which may not be that intuitive, but since the phoneticians have decided these rules, we will go with it because they have done a lot of studies and they come up with these rules. Now, what I have done, if you remember, our original purpose was to create a challenge similar to Guess the Gibberish challenge, and Soundex is an algorithm which can give same encoding to similar sounding words. We saw Robert and Rupert; they had the same encoding. I could have used this Soundex, but I did slight modifications to it to make it better for our Guess the Gibberish challenge. So the modification that I did was just in the step 1. These were the consonants and vowels which are dropped, right? A, E, I, O, U, Y, H, W. If they are not the first letter, they are dropped. What I did, instead of dropping, I tagged E, I and Y together. Why? Because to me it appeared that they sound similar. E, I, Y. If you see the word pick, peace, they make sense. They can be clubbed together. O and U I clubbed together, and A, H, W I ignored. I dropped, similar to what Soundex does. But these two I made two more clusters. With that, this is my Soundex algorithm. The whole Git repo I will provide in the description, and as well as this blogs link which you can find if you want to enhance or run this code. Now next we can see the most interesting part, creating the final Guess the Gibberish algorithm. Till now what we have seen what we want to accomplish, what is Guess the Gibberish challenge, what is phonetics, what is phonology, who are phoneticians, and a very important and popular phonetic algorithm called Soundex. We even modified it by taking the clusters or numbering which Soundex provides to the letters, also adding few more clusters to the original algorithm. Now we are in the final stage where we will write the pseudocode of our Guess the Gibberish challenge algorithm. Now I will assume I get a sentence which is something meaningful which I have to convert to gibberish. In that sentence, I will take one word at a time and convert it into its encoding, and that encoding will come from the slightly modified Soundex we created in the above step. So that is what, given the sentence, take one word at a time, generate 8-bit encoding. I have used 8-bit, you can use 6-bit, 9-bit, it's up to you. And we do it using the modified Soundex algorithm. For example, the word under will get an encoding of U5376000. Why that? Because U will remain as it is. N belongs to cluster 5. D and T, they belongs to cluster 3. So for D it comes 3. E, it would have been ignored in the original Soundex algorithm, but we have given E, I and Y a new cluster 7, and R has 6, and remaining we don't have any letters left, so we add 3 trailing zeros to it. Clear? We take one word at a time of the sentence and convert it into its encoding. Now, the next important and interesting step. We take the encoding of the word and do the following. We take one character at a time. If the letter is character, keep it as it is. For example, you will remain you. Now next, if the letter is a number, like in this case 5, randomly pick a character from that cluster only. Why? Because that cluster has all the similar sounding consonants or vowels. For example, if the letter is 2, we can randomly pick any one of C, G, J, K, Q, S, X and Z. And we have seen the modified clusters from after the changes we did in the SoundX algorithm. These are the 8 clusters. And as soon as we get 0 or we are at the end, stop. If the letter is 0 or no more letter left of the encoding, we are done for that word. Repeat the same process for all the words in the sentence. And this is the algorithm, simple 10 lines code. You can find the code in the Git repo I provide in the description as well as the blog link. Now let's visualize the results we get. I gave it some of the proverbs, very famous proverbs. Like example, a blessing in disguise, and this is the gibberish. Let's see some of them. Now, to make it interesting, we will first read the gibberish and then see what the actual proverb was. A diny, a dozen, a dime a dozen. Bid around the bush, beat around the bush. Bidir led than nipir, better late than never. Bite the bull, bite the bullet. Break a leg, break a leg. Call it a day, call it a day. Under the weather, under the weather. Time flick when you are having fun. Time flies when you are having fun. Civic oak tea deplete. Speak of the devil. Tea back of but world. The best of both the world. The output is gibberish, though sounds similar to the actual proverbs. This is our simple guess the gibberish algorithm. Hope you enjoyed it. And now I will also talk about the possible enhancement. Now what we are saying is that for each word in the proverb or each word in the sentence, we generate one gibberish. So one gibberish per word. What we can do is instead of that, we can smartly break the words or combine the words and then run the same algorithm. So in that case, the length will be dynamic. If with dynamic, I mean a 3-word sentence can provide maybe a 4-word gibberish or 2-word gibberish. So in that way, it could vary. There could be variation. Second thing, the first character is always the same. If it's you, in the gibberish also it's you. Instead of that, we can do something like this. Instead of you, we can have you. So we can come up with these smart possibilities and add it to enhance the algorithm. Remaining, I will keep it to you as an open-ended problem to show your creativity. And at the conclusion, we saw what phonetics is, what is phonology, what are phonetic algorithms. We looked at SoundX, we even modified it and created a Guess the Gibberish challenge algorithm. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel so I can keep making such entertaining, fun and application-based learning videos for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.